Okay, so I've gone ahead and added rainfall 2007 and life expectancy for 2007. You should do the same. You'll notice that we're going to go ahead and try to add some descriptive numbers in and some descriptive graphs in that we can, so that we can get a better sense of our data here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we need to take care of this kind of the sparseness of our data. We have a lot of missing values, and we're really trying to look for correlation between rainfall and life expectancy. Maybe there's some, maybe there's not any. We won't know until we run the numbers. You know, it's easy to take guesses, but it's better to look at the numbers. So now there are statistical ways to fill in these missing pieces of data. For our purposes today, we're just going to go ahead and eliminate any record that has missing data. Now, is this going to affect our results? Absolutely. You know, we're not going to be including all countries. Would it be better for us to maybe use a more complicated statistical method to fill in these missing pieces of data? Probably, but that's kind of beyond the scope of what we're doing right now. So let's go ahead and we're going to try to find an efficient way to get rid of these rows with missing data. Now, could I go through and just select them? Yes, I could. Now, I only have 249 records here, so I could do that. It would take me maybe 10 minutes to do that, right? Maybe less if I was fast. But there is a quicker way. So let's go ahead over to Filter Views, and we're going to go Create New Filter View. And we're going to rename this filter view to Missing Data. Okay, now I could do this filter view in a couple of different ways. So I could set this filter view up so that it only showed me the rows with no missing data, right? So every record would have data in it. And I could do that by setting a filter for each of the 4 rows that I'm talking about. So rainfall for 2007, rainfall for 2012, life expectancy 2007, life expectancy 2012. So how I'd do that is I'd go down here and go filter by condition, and I'd put cell is not empty, okay? And then basically it would the sheets would just show me rows in which that cell was not empty. So if I scroll down through here, you'll see that now rain 2007, I'm only seeing rows in which rainfall for 2007 is shown. Now notice the rows are sequential, but not all rows are shown. That's what is meant by this filter view. So notice that it goes, I've scrolled all the way up here, it goes row 1, and then skips to row 4, 5, 6, then skip to rows 8. So rows, you can see that between 7, 6, and 8 here, row 7 is missing from this filter view, right? So if we went to data and went to filter views and we put to none, notice that now the color scheme changes and we're back. Now we have Angola is back in here, even though it has a missing data, right? Then we can go back to data, we can go to filter views, and we can go back to the missing data filter view. Okay? Now once I'm inside of this filter view, I can set the filters. Now, in some cases it might be better for me to do this, right? It might be better for me to create a filter view in which and then kind of do a lot of stuff inside the filter view. For our purposes today, we want to go ahead and just eliminate this data. In this case, you might go to File, make a copy of your original spreadsheet just to save it in case you want to backtrack and have the original data set. For our purposes, we're not going to do that. So let's go ahead and just get rid of the rows that have the empty cells in them. And we're going to change this to cell is empty and then click OK. So now exactly the opposite is true. Now we're only looking, notice row 7 here, we're only looking at rows that have empty data values for rainfall 2007. And what we're going to do is we're basically just going to highlight all of them. So I click the top row, which is row 2, hold down the Shift key, and click, so now the Shift key is held down, I'm going to click 243. Okay, and then I'm going to right click, and I'm going to click Delete Rows 2 to 243. Now notice it sounds like I'm deleting all the rows, but in fact, once I go ahead and delete them, so I click Delete Rows, now Google Sheets is working. Okay, so now we don't see any rows listed here, right? Okay, and in fact, if I go back to Data, Filter View, and then I go to None, notice that now when I scroll up, all the rows are here, but now all the rows have values for rainfall of 2007. Okay, So essentially what I've done in the filter view is I have I've selected, or I made it so I could only see rows that didn't have a value for rainfall 2007, and I deleted all those rows. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead back to filter views and missing data. I'm going to remove the filter. So now I'm going to put cell is not empty. I'm going to click OK. Notice I get all my rows back. Now I'm going to go to rainfall 2012, and I'm going to put filter by condition, and put cell is empty. Click OK. So now I have all the rows that in which rainfall 2012 there is no value for. Click to none for the thing. Okay, so now I have all the, notice I was just erasing the filter for rainfall 2007. So now for rainfall 2012, I do the same thing. And right click, delete rows 3 to 188. Okay, now I'm going to go into this filter, rainfall 2012, click it back to none, filter by condition, I'm setting it to none, I click OK. Now I have, notice that my data is getting denser and denser. Okay, now we're going to go to life expectancy 2007. I'm going to put filter by condition, put cell as empty. Click OK. Notice I only get a couple of them. And right click, delete rows. Click on the filter, filter by condition, we set it to none, click OK. Okay, and then finally for life expectancy 2012, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, filter by condition, cell is empty, OK, and we're going to go ahead and select them, right click, and delete rows. Okay, all right, so now we're going to get out of the filter view. Okay, so we've done our work, we've deleted any row that had a missing piece of data in those columns. Okay. Okay, so now we have a dense set of data. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and so that was how to get rid of missing rows in data, or one way to do it. Good luck.